Hello and welcome to We Love FPL and another FPL video. In this video I'm going to be talking about forwards who I think we should be potentially targeting over the next few game weeks. Now obviously we've only got one more game week now until that dreaded international break. It's quite annoying, isn't it? It seems like we've only just sort of started the season and already it's going to be interrupted by the internationals. But yeah, there we go. That's just one of those things. So I'm just going to quickly run over how I did this week. 62 points. A little bit quite disappointed with it, to be honest. After my sort of really good week last week. It's just not been the best week. However, having said that, it could have been a lot worse. So after the Saturday games, after the 3 o'clock games on Saturday, things were looking pretty dire. It was just an absolute train wreck. My provisional rank dropped a million places. But then I managed to get some points from the rest of my players. I got 6 from Sanchez. Brighton got a clean sheet, and then the following day I got a rather fortunate 10 from Greenwood, because it was his goal was just a scuffed shot that sort of bobbled in, and on the back of that goal he got 3 bonus points from only 21 BPS points, so quite fortunate that really, but I'll take it. And then Antonio, what a legend. Great haul from him there, 16 points. So it salvaged the week a little bit. But yeah, my game week rank was, I think it was 2.5 million. But yeah, better than it was looking on the Saturday. But I've gone down. My overall rank's gone down from 560k, I think it was, to 840k. Still not too bad. It's not the worst start. My aim was to be in the top 500k after 5 game weeks, which would be a significant increase on where I was the same stage last season, where I think it was about 3.5 million, my overall rank after 5 weeks. So it's alright, it's not too bad, but I need to kick on. I need to have a good game week 3. So what I've actually already done a transfer, which is always reluctant to do. I like to wait until the Friday first of all for the team news, and also it just gives me a little bit more time to think about what I'm going to do. But I decided to do it. I've got rid of Barnes, and I did it a couple of nights ago because his price was about to drop, and I've already dropped value on a few of my players, so I don't normally place too much emphasis on team value, but it's I just thought, you know what, I'll go early on this one because I've already lost quite a bit of value on. So I've got Gundogan's gone down in value, Veltman's dropped in value, I've got this idiot from Watford, this defender who hasn't played yet at all, he's dropped as well. So yeah, I decided to do it, and reluctantly, because I'm the type of manager who likes to be patient with players. I certainly would rather give someone more than 2 weeks, but in the case of Barnes, I just think he had to go. Leicester have not been good at all. Barnes has just not looked fit. His underlying stats are awful. He's just not even remotely looking like assisting or scoring, and also he's getting subbed off early in games, and I actually think there's a strong possibility that he might not even start the next game. So that's the kind of thought process behind that. I have brought in Ben Rama for him. And again, that's something else that goes a little bit against the grain, because normally with me, I don't like to bring in players that have just scored a load of points. It just has that feel of kind of chasing last week's points, and I always have this feeling that if someone's just had sort of several good weeks in a row, what are the chances of that continuing? So normally I kind of will stubbornly avoid players like that, but on this occasion I've just thought, you know what, just do it. It's kind of the obvious move. It's not like Ben Rama's been lucky to get his points. West Ham have been amazing. They look such a good attacking team. Ben Rama's stats have been good, and West Ham's fixtures are really good as well. So I decided to do it. I've brought Ben Rama in. So there we go. Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. So let's get into the strikers who we should be looking at. First up, Dominic CalvertLewin. Now, what you find in this game is sometimes you have players who have really good underlying stats, but it's just not quite happened for them in front of goal, and those good underlying stats haven't quite converted into FPL points. And conversely, you get the other thing happening where players are perhaps overperforming and scoring goals when their expected goals statistics are actually quite low. Dominic CalvertLewin literally has everything going for him so far from the first two games. He's scored in both games, and let's look at his statistics. XG 2.28, which is second out of all the strikers. Expected assists 0.1, shots in the box 9, which is first out of all the strikers. Shots on target 6, again that's first out of all the strikers. Penalty area touches 13, which is third. And also Everton have some great fixtures coming up. Brighton away, Burnley at home, Villa away, Norwich at home. And if that wasn't enough, it also now seems that CalvertLewin is now on penalties. So he should be at the absolute top of your watch list. He's certainly on top of mine. I am going to be looking at ways of how I can accommodate him in my team, if not for next week, certainly the week after. So yeah, it's no-brainer. He's looking like a great option at the moment. Next up is Raul Jimenez. Perhaps a little bit of a... Some people might be having some raised eyebrows about him, but for people who played FPL a couple of seasons ago, you remember what a good option he was. And the thing to remember with him is, although he's been injured, he's been out a long time, and obviously sometimes when players do come back from long-term injuries, that they're not often the same player. But the injury he had was a head injury, so there's no reason why he can't be the player he was a couple of seasons ago. And he started the season well. Now, he hasn't scored, but his underlying stats are very good. So XG 0.52, which is 10th. Expected assists 0.37, which is 4th. Shots inside the box 8. That's second out of all the forwards. No shots on target, which is a little bit strange. Penalty area touch is 16, and that's first. So he is an interesting option, I think. The only thing, so typically with him though, and I don't know why this is, he doesn't tend to get huge scores. He's the sort of player that will tick over for you. A good game for him is a goal and 2 or 3 bonus points. Very rarely, for some reason, he very rarely gets 2 goals or a goal and an assist, but he will get you consistent points, or he has done in the past anyway. But he's not someone that you can really trust to captain. So we look at what are we looking at? Oh yeah, their fixtures. Sorry. So they got Man U next. Okay, not the greatest fixture. Although having said that, United I thought were horrendous in the last game against Southampton. One of the worst defensive performances I've seen from them actually. So it might not be as bad a fixture as that seems on paper. But after that they've got Watford away, Brentford at home, Southampton away. So again, he's also got fixtures in his favour. So yeah, good option I think. Next player, Emmanuel Dennis. Very cheap option, only 5.1. He's getting games, he's scoring. And let's have a look at his stats. They're not too bad as well. So expected goals 0.47, which is 13th. Expected assists 0.07, which is 11th. Shots inside the box 6, that's 5th out of all the forwards. Shots on target 3, which is 3rd. Penalty area touches 8, which is 10th. So he's up there in terms of his stats as well. So he could be a really good option if you wanted to perhaps strengthen your midfield, upgrade some players there, and you could bring Dennis in to have as either a really good first sub, or you could play him in your first 11. So yeah, an interesting one. I still think we probably need to monitor him over the next couple of games, but if he can continue with what he's been doing over the first couple of weeks, he's definitely a good option. So next up is this man, Mr. Romelu Lukaku. Now, I'm not going to talk about him in too much depth right now, purely because I've got another video that I'm going to release straight after this one where I talk just about him and whether or not we need to be bringing him into our teams right now. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be releasing it quite soon after this one. But suffice to say, all I'll say at this stage is his stats were absolutely fantastic against Arsenal. And bearing in mind he's only played one game, his statistics are better than most of the players who have played two. But that's all I'm not gonna go into too much detail about him at the moment, because I'll be talking about him in a bit more depth in the next video. So next up, Callum Wilson. Now this is a player who I really like. Last season he was the one shining light for me in what was my worst season, my worst start to an FPL season in 15 seasons. But this guy, he was the one player that he was the one shining light. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for him, and he started off this season well. I think he obviously scored in the first game, didn't score in the last one, and he had a really good chance which he should have scored from, but his statistics are really good. So XG 1.41, that's 4th out of the forwards. Shots inside the box 5, and that's 6th out of the forwards. Shots on target 2, which is 7th. Penalty area touches 13, which is 3rd. He's also on penalties, don't forget. And he has got a really good set of fixtures coming up. Certainly 3 out of the next 4. Southampton at home, United away, Leeds at home, and Watford away. So yeah, he is somebody that is definitely someone that you should be targeting for your teams. There's quite a few options, I think, in his kind of price range. And now, just because I like him so much, I would like to bring him in, but I'm not sure at the moment, because the only thing with him, as we know, he's quite injury prone, and I've already got an injury prone player in my team in Antonio, so I don't like to have more than one injury prone player in my team, because it just gives you a real headache if they both get injured at the same time. But I still think Wilson is a great option. And so finally we've got Antonio. What a player, what a start he's had to the season. Again, like CalvertLewin, his FPL points are very much matching his statistics. I've got him in my team. I've had him from the first week. He's been doing really well. He's gone up in value now to 7.8. Expected goals 2.45, that's top for forwards. Expected assists 0.27, that's 6th. Shots in the box 8, which is 2nd. Shots on target 6, which is 1st. Penalty area touches 14, and that's 2nd. So again, like CalvertLewin, he's got everything going for him. He's got the underlying stats, he's delivering the FPL points he's scoring, and he's got a great set of fixtures. So he's got Crystal Palace at home, he's got Southampton away, United at home and Leeds away, and I can tell you now, he is going to be my captain for this week. He's got the best anytime scorer odds out of all of the strikers and the midfielders. Obviously Salah's got quite a difficult fixture at Chelsea, so yeah, Antonio is going to be my captain this week. If you haven't got him already, you need to be getting him in, or certainly thinking of how you can accommodate him. So for me, him and Calvert-Lewin are the players to target for the next coming up game weeks. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye now.